I know exactly who you are and what you've done. You're not getting away with this. No way, no how. You're done for.
Mrs. Crockett, you gotta release him.
No way. My team did a Google search.
Let him go.
I think we're watching just the implosion of Jasmine Crockett before our very eyes, and I love watching it. But I gotta start out with Jasmine Crockett making the little oopsie there. She thought that she was going to really sink Republicans, including Lee Zeldin, by saying that they took campaign contributions from Jeffrey Epstein. Let's listen to her just lay down the facts.
Folks who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly: Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio. I just want to be clear. If this is the standard that we're going to make, just know we're going to expose it all. And just know that the FEC filings, they are available for everybody to review.
Well, we know that, whoopsie, she was referring to the wrong Jeffrey Epstein. The one that made those campaign contributions was a Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, not related to the sex trafficker, pedophile, predator in any way. But I think the cleanup.
Is that anti-Semitic, by the way?
Yeah.
Like, can we call that anti-Semitic? Is that what she's trying? Like, are we able to have that conversation? Like, can we turn the tables here?
Yeah. Well, I don't think the left really cares about being anti-Semitic, but I think the cleanup of the initial mess up might be even better than the initial mess up. Let's take a listen to her defending herself, or at least attempting to.
I never said that it was that Jeffrey Epstein. Just so that people understand, when you make a donation, your picture is not there. And because they decided to spring this on us in real time, I wanted the Republicans to think about what could potentially happen, because I knew that they didn't even try to go through the FEC. So my team, what they did is they Googled. And that is specifically why I said a Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, her team Googled. They didn't have a lot of time. They just had to
You're
Google
front runner
it.
for 2028. You're front runner. She's polling. She's polling at like 10%, Tommy. This is great. Our cup runneth over.
I just don't.
They Googled. Okay.
And you know what? It's actually just goes to show what a narcissist she is, because usually after someone makes that big of an epic fail for the world to see, they either just go away for a while, or they just come out and say, I had the wrong guy, my team had the wrong guy. But for her to try to come on and spin this like, well, this was intentional. I just wanted the Republicans to think about it and have to address it. I didn't say it was the Jeffrey Epstein. I said it was a Jeffrey Epstein. And I think she's done after this. I think that any hopes that she had of being a senator or running for Senate, I think those are over. Do you think that she'll be forgiven by the left for this? Or do you think that this means, hey, maybe she's just good on social media and we should stop looking at her as a serious person?
I think that she's lucky if she doesn't catch a lawsuit from this. Because if I were Dr. Jeffrey Epstein and I were being called the world's foremost pederast from the House floor and having my donations dragged, well, you're really putting somebody at risk. You're really defaming them there. And that explanation, of course, doesn't apologize to Dr. Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know him. I never heard of Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, but whatever. There are other people named Jeffrey Epstein in the world. There are other people named Ben Johnson in the world, right? And I sure don't want them to catch smoke, right? I'm very, very sorry for what I do for a living. Please don't go after any other Ben Johnson. This is just like the guy with the single most punchable face on YouTube, and I own that. But why wouldn't Dr. Jeffrey Epstein be furious about this and should probably file some type of legal protection against Jasmine Crockett? But if we're going to talk about stolen identities, Tommy, then let's talk about it. Because Jasmine Crockett there, in her broken vernacular and in her hood rat way of speaking, is herself stealing an identity. We did a deep dive on my program, on our YouTube channel, an investigation into who is Jasmine Crockett, because that tough talking girl from the streets of South Dallas is a lie. That's the real stolen valor right there, stolen street valor. Jasmine Crockett was raised in a really nice neighborhood, one of the richest and nicest, leafiest suburbs in all of America, in fact, in Western St. Louis. She went to one of the most elite day schools in all of the country, the St. Louis Private Day School. She learned to play flute there. She graduated with high honors and then went on to Rhodes College, which is a prestigious private university, before going on to the Houston College of Law, which is also a prestigious private university. Sum total education for Jasmine Crockett is over $1 million. Her education is worth, growing up in some of the nicest places on earth. Jasmine Crockett in her earlier interviews didn't have that affectation in her voice. She learned to do that. It is hood stolen valor. And so it's actually Jasmine Crockett who is stealing identities. And yeah, we're gonna pray she finds Jesus.
Yeah. Well, and we got all this Texas redistricting battles that I guess are still going to be confronted. But she was really at risk of losing her district anyway, and that's why I think she wanted to run for Senate. But I think this just goes to show that some of the people that maybe translate on social media, they don't actually have any substance. And she would definitely be one of the people I would put in that category. And having an expensive education doesn't mean you're smart. And I think Jasmine Crockett is neither smart. And I think she's also pretty lazy because she had her team Google it. I mean, what's the point of having
She's playing a character. Yeah. She's playing a character there. You know, she does represent a district that is really broken down. And there's a lot of people that are suffering in that district. But what she's doing is she's, again, committing stolen valor from the streets. She doesn't come from Dallas. She doesn't come from Texas. She comes from a very elite background, in fact. She's playing a character, much like AOC does. It's a total fraudulent activity. It means there's a lot of self-loathing there. I don't know why Democrats do this, but they do. All available polls and studies show that actually white liberals often talk down to black people or will change the way that they speak when they're talking to black people. Joe Biden did this. Barack Obama did this. Kamala Harris does this. Donald Trump doesn't do this. Right. But I guess that's the question for them to answer as to why exactly do you do that?
That is a great question. We're never going to get the answer, but we should pose it anyway.